depths of silence where echoes remain. You were the sunrise and I was the rain, a collision of souls opposing in flight. I was the darkness.
Well, folks, I think today's the day. After months of wrenching, swapping parts, and talking to Jesus under the hood, we're finally back to finishing the old Ranger. It ain't perfect, it ain't fancy, but we're about to find out if she'll crank, clank, and come back to life. So grab a wrench, say a prayer, and let's see what this old beast has left in her.
You were the laughter that kept me alive. You were hello when I was goodbye. An ember that flickered then faded away. You were the summer, I was that same old shitty me. Now you're gone.
I'm finally started on the Ranger again, and I did end up ordering that other distributor, so I cut the housing apart halfway through on the other one, got that shaft. This is it, and as you can see, maybe, but it's got like I said, it's like a Torx style. So I'm going to take and shave it down in this same octagon shape, or try to. We'll see if I even get close, and then of course put that little rib inside there and see if we can fit it in the impact. So that's what I'm gonna do, and then I can get to where I can pump that oil and see how that goes.
You were the laughter that kept me alive. I said hold on.
Shit, that don't look that bad actually. I might have to go shave it down a little bit more, and we'll see if it's close, but we'll get there maybe. So far, it fits. So now we'll take and notch that little rib in there and see if it works. There it is. And believe it or not, a little bit sloppy, but not bad. Worked like a champ. Now I got oil all over every damn thing, and I get to clean it off. I knew that was going to happen, but there's I don't know, there's just some of them, the old Chevys and stuff, you have oil clips you can put on the lifters. I'll just clean everything up. But hey, we got oil. Looks like everything's good. We're getting it out of every port. Now I can get those adjusted, and we are good to go and keep continuing on. So we'll hopefully, I don't know how long this will take, well, you know, with whatever, everything I got left to finish, but I'd like to get it done today if possible. Get this one fired up, out of the way. I'm working on my transmission for the old white truck, and as soon as I get those two out of my way, then I got room for one more surprise. I found this old toy about 3 hours away for cheaper, and I have wanted one for 20 something years. So the guy had already done a bunch of stuff to it, replaced a whole bunch of hoses and cleaned stuff up. But I went through, because he kind of washed the inside decent, but I went through and pressure washed, and that's why it's sitting up like this right now, because I'm trying to get all the hydraulic fluid and stuff that was in there in the bottom of the belly of this thing and get it drained. You can kind of see it's got just a little bit of fluid still in there, and I'm gonna go pressure wash it again, but it definitely is much better than it was. I think we had one hose that came off when we fired it up, well, a little bit after we fired it up, and it was just because it wasn't on there all the way, so we had to tip the cab and everything and get it on. I think we got all the leaks and everything done. He adjusted the chains for the drive, so I just need to really go through and touch up some of the electrical. It needs lights, get some lights and stuff for it, but I am so excited and get to do a few things that I've wanted to get done with this. And now he gave me an attachment that hooks onto the bucket he made just to grab a trailer. It's got a hitch on it, and I can move any of my trailers around. So yeah, this is going to be one nice little deal. I'm super excited about it, and it's one nice little machine. It's older, but I don't want to pay 30 to 80,000, well, more than that, some of them. And I'm just, you know what, this old machine's in pretty good shape. He put a new cutting edge on it, and I love it, and I'm excited. So I'll get to do some things with that and don't have to rent one anymore. But let's get back to the Ranger and see if we can get that project finished up. I got them all adjusted. I don't know what you guys seen. I've had changing batteries in the camera and everything else. But I got those all adjusted. I went through a couple different methods and made sure I was doing that in the correct order and everything, because some of those lifters wanted to, well, bouncing around. They were draining just a little bit, so I kept that drill on there and just pumped them up, kept the pressure in them as much as possible. But I got those adjusted, the valve covers on, and now I'm going to go put some RTV on some of the other parts, get everything else ready. We'll see what else I can get on there here pretty quick. Typically the foil side goes towards the hotter side, which is usually the manifold. I guess it depends on some applications, but it also says on here, oh, right there, manifold side. You can barely make it out. So I want to make sure that one's turned right direction.
Huh?
I'm just talking.
Say what's the remedy? We'd be like-minded if we could, but that's not the case. Oh, the wind will turn, don't be concerned. Oh, I can learn. When we end this hiding games, and we don't pull them both ways, we can do it.
think that's it for now. I've got the intake, the upper intake and everything to put on, but the injectors go down in here, and I don't want to fight that. I have fought it before, so I'm ready to put that intake on, but I've got some injector parts that are missing. The little, not the O-rings, but the little plastic ring that goes under it, and the cap that goes on the end. I can't find them in town, of course, and I don't want to get new injectors for it unless I find some that are cheap enough for now to get this thing up and going, because they're like 80, 90 bucks or something a piece, and I don't want to dump that much more into it. So, and I got to get a couple more bolts for those exhaust manifolds, but I'm getting close. And if I can get that fuel rail and everything on there, and then that upper intake, everything else should be pretty smooth sailing, I hope, and go fairly quickly. So I'll see if I can round that stuff up, get the rest of that put in. If not, I don't know what to do, because I just want to put those injectors in, because that rail just sits right on top and pushes those in. So yeah, we'll see if I can get that in time before I have to go back to work and everything again. I've been hit and miss my videos because I don't have enough time with work and everything else going on. So I guess we'll see if I can round that up, hopefully get some more of this put together, and see where we're at. Anyway, I'm just getting ready to go work on the Ranger again. I'll show you what I'm doing there. But real quick, I wanted to show you the clear plastic for the garden. Horrible idea, at least in my situation, because all them weeds, and I don't know what those are called, but they love water. And so all that water underneath there and that sun just beating on that plastic, well, then the plastic ripped. The dogs running across it and everything. Anyway, it got ripped, blew in the windstorm. But those weeds are taking over. So now I get to take and go through and clean around all the plants. And, well, it just created a whole lot more headache. So next time, I will definitely use the black plastic again, not the clear. Because we did not have that issue with the black plastic at all. It wasn't as easy to do some other things, you know, finding that water line and planting and everything, but I think I'd rather take a little more time and do that and avoid this disaster. So anyway, lesson learned. All right, guys. So we're finally that much closer. I know, my projects take forever, each and every one of them, and then I bounce around because I'm trying to get one thing done and I need to get something else done. But we're back to it, and I will tell you, I absolutely hate supporting China and these other countries unless I absolutely have to, or you know, some things we just don't have as much choice, or you know, none of us are filthy rich, so that, well, some of us are, I guess. That plays a big part in why we buy cheaper things, but most times, you know, 9 times out of 10, those cheap things don't hold up. They're crap. And like I said, why support them when, you know, we have so many things here in our country and in our great world that we can, you know, have access to or support our locals. But with that said, I have dumped way too much money. Yes, this is an excuse, whatever you want to call it. But I have dumped way too much money into this truck. And to get little caps and the O-rings and things, I'm missing on some of my fuel injectors just from probably me moving things around all over, trying to organize and clean up. But I ordered some. I'll show you here. These little cheap buggers. Now my plan is, instead of ordering the caps and stuff, which is at the store uptown, and you know, a lot of those are from China and different places, but they were going to cost me, I think, 16 bucks for a few of them. This whole kit for 6 of these was $33. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then if these fail or don't hold up, I've got my originals. I just will take the caps and stuff off of these. But where these are new or rebuilt or whatever, where these are refurbished, new, I can't remember if these were refurbished or what, but for $33 I can take those caps and rings and stuff off those and put them on the originals. But I might as well just throw these in for now. I think they'll probably work okay or just fine. Yeah, I hate doing it, but at the same time, like I said, it all depends on the circumstance and everything. But the more we can try to make less excuses and support more American-made products. A lot of companies out there right now are ran by veterans, which is so cool. So yeah, I try not to do it, but I know we all have to do it in certain areas. But the less we do it, the more, you know, all that money stays right here and flows right in here, which means more jobs, better pay, and everything. Anyway, that's my little spiel. So now we'll get started on the Ranger. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just put just a little bit of oil on those O-rings. I just like a little bit in there. I've done it every time. I don't get carried away or drastic with it, but just a little bit, and they fit snug right in there, perfect. What I had to do was, one of the tabs on the pin in there is broke. I tried to go uptown, of course didn't find any. So I'm just gonna order, I might even have some extra clips for these injector ends. I don't know. But if not, I can order that a little electrical prong that goes in there. But I made it, it's got 3 out of the 4 sides, so hopefully it'll make contact. If not, you can usually put like a stick or something. You can hear them things when they tick and everything, and when they're working, or test them, you know, with the electrical stuff. But if I test it either way or check it and everything's good, I should be good to go for those injectors.
I've escaped with the light on dim. The dark feels heavier without you in. And every chord I strike cries your name.
Okay, I think I've got everything pretty much buttoned up except for a few exhaust bolts I gotta go get. I gotta throw the battery in, right now. I'm just gonna hook that up kind of quick. I'm just gonna try to get it turning over, see if it'll fire up. If I'm on my top dead center and everything, I think I should have all that in place. I went through all the steps, but then again, I've been back and forth, so then I forget things or whatever. Vacuum lines, I can at least, if I can at least get it turning over and stuff, I can work on those. But I'll get the battery in, see if we're our timing's close. Just kind of go from there. I'm zapping the shit out of myself right now. Grounding that sucker out.
They say you are doing fine. I smile and hold my breath and count to 10. Wish I could say the same. Wish I could say the same.
Oh, we are close. I think it's off. I don't know, I'm just guessing that's off a couple teeth. Because the way these work and that little, the splines and everything down in there, sometimes you can get it, sometimes you gotta just jump over a little bit to get it closer to being on time. And anyway, so I'll fiddle with that, see if we can get that a little bit closer, but then we'll see if we can fire it up and get this bad boy all but within a few degrees. And oh man, finally. Well, she fired up. Might have scared a few birds off, woke up the neighbor's cat, but I'll call that a huge win. Big thanks if you stuck with me through this long-awaited moment. I appreciate every single one of you who takes time to stop by, watch, and support the channel. Stay strong, stay proud, and stay America first. Catch you on the next one, and as always, God bless.